Hello, welcome to the Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. Welcome to Stream Street Day 5, the Hunker in the Bunker. Saturday... Sadness? No, that's a terrible intro. Hello, welcome to the show. And today I'm joined by Mr. John Scrivens. John, how are you?
I am. He says as he has to clear his throat. Yeah, I'm all right. This is the first I've spoken to anyone radio all day, so it's quite a novelty.
Good. Well, we're going to be talking to you much for over the next sultry hour. I want to say a big shout out to everyone who's watching us live, whether it be on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. And if you're watching back, thanks very much. If you want to just throw a like and subscribe, that'd be great. Finally, make sure all you people listening to the podcast stay hydrated. And a massive shout out to everyone on the Wargamer Patreon who supports us. You guys are wonderful. Make it so that we can get through these trying times. It's really meant the world to us. So thank you so much. And if you can see it on the screen here, if you join our Discord, if you type !Discord into the chat, you'll see you can join up here and hang out, and I'll talk to you via that medium as well as live, like Serbator, Zen Minis, the Wargaming Dad, and Hook and Pin are currently doing in the chat. How are you all? So today I'm going to talk to John a little bit, but we're going to take some Q&As and we're just going to snowball. I've got some skinks to cut out. There they are, and we're just going to talk about some stuff. John, are you doing any hobby?
I'm not, because my hobby desk is actually behind me. You might be able to just make it out, but I'm going to be doing a bit of doodling. So let's start off with an awesome thing. Let's just start off straight away with an awesome thing that you did. A lot of people will have seen any of the artwork, or most of the artwork that you've seen on the channel. Like 98% of it has always come from John. John taken some of the clever ideas we've had sometimes, or possibly, what did you call it in our little WhatsApp chat the other day? The childish humour of the channel. Yeah, because that's what it is. It's toilet humour, but everyone loves it, right?
I don't know if it's toilet humour. How dare you, sir? De Templar, thank you so much for subscribing, you angel. Also, thanks for being a nurse in the hospital and just being generally a hero. What was I going to say? So the childish humour that we have, and you've turned it sometimes into some fantastic pieces of art. Slanuel Jackson, obviously a famous one, and there's some more. I think I came up with one the other day. Yesterday I talked about having Owen Jackson as Owen and the Blood Crushers, a band from the Mortal Realms of Heesh, which I thought would be fun. But
hang on, let me get my list.
Yeah, John just gets really pissed off whenever I suggest these things. However, some of them have been amazing. We've had people have got loads of avatars that John's drawn. Some people have got like just a variety of different things, which is really cool. So Crazy Horse in the chat saying, "Where's my frog?" I reckon John's probably behind on a whole bunch of commissions, as per usual.
Yeah. Always behind. Too busy. Like, apparently a day job gets in the way, guys.
But one of the really cool things you just did today was you decolorized all your photos, right?
Yes. I've got all the artwork and taken out all the lovely colouring that I'd spent hours on, and just the line art, and then put up high quality versions of them so that people can print them off for their little ones or for themselves, just colour in and keep themselves busy.
Which is just fantastic. So that's just amazing. So if you've got like some kids who are a little bit bored and you want to get them involved in Warhammer, that's a great vehicle through which to do it. Print them out. And there's a couple of examples on the screen. I'll also include any links to them in the show notes below. So if people want to like download them, cut them out, or just like give them to their kids and they can paint them up. Honestly, John, it's an amazing idea. Well done. It's just really good. So
I've already had one sent to me actually as well.
Well, how do you mean? Oh, what? Oh my God! Can we come back in a week? We're doing this show in a week's time. That's decided. Saturdays with Scrivo. Yeah. And and I want to see. I'm gonna go. Will a painting
Put
competition?
One in the Discord for you.
How's this? How's this? Do it in the live channel.
The live channel. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know. Well,
trying to be very clever.
Can we run a painting competition, John? The best one done by a kid under the age of 14?
Yeah. And then what do we give them?
That's so good.
Colour it again.
That's
amazing,
so
right?
good. Who did that? That's so amazing. He's got a pink grenade. Oh yes.
It's just the best, right? It's just suddenly you think any like self-respecting serious wargamer would have done all these grimy, boring colours. The kid's gone with the pink and the yellow, going, "Sod this! I'm having some fun."
No, but he's been serious. He's done the black for serious.
Yeah, exactly.
I also, and in a very grim, dark fashion, the skin is orange, but also his boots are orange, meaning that in the grim, dark future,
They're made out of
they
skin.
make human skin to make leather boots.
Oh shit! Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that's definitely the future. I 100%. So come next Saturday, we're now enacting a competition. We will send them a $5 prize. We don't have any money, so that's what I'm putting as a prize.
What I could do is I can draw them something,
Yeah,
their favourite character or something.
There we
Because
go.
then they've got something to colour in. That way, it's not creating anything too extensive, but it's something cool, right?
done. John will do a custom drawing as a prize. John, but honestly,
Yeah.
it's amazing. And just like everyone in the chat saying, morning, Canamroff. Morning to everyone who's watching, by the way, live. Crazy Horse says this is a genuinely amazing idea for people with kids. Oakenpin says, oh, I love it. El Capitan WS10, who's got a trug picture himself, which is great. Right, I'm printing them off for my nephew, says Oakenpin. Good evening, Diff Down Under. How are you, babe? I'm going to give hats to all the drawings, says the Templar. Yeah, so if you've just joined us, as you've seen, like Alan and John, have you got a link you can put in the chat now for people if they want to start downloading them?
Yeah. Just give me 2
ASAP.
seconds.
Afternoon Battle Chode, how are you? So today we're going to be doing a bit of hobby and just chatting away, and then finding out. There's the link in the chat. Find out how we all are on this Saturday day. Got a variety of guests over the next week already lined up, which is very exciting. You should tune in tomorrow to listen to Budtastic Guy. What a gorgeous man.
Oh, that guy.
Great guy. And Monday we've got the irrefutably awesome Mr. Benjamin Sava. And he is going to be talking about a secret tech army list. So secret that it was under wraps until all of the tournaments got cancelled, but he was taking it to some major international tournaments, so look out for that. And then on Tuesday, the irrepressible and some would say darling Mr. Sam Morgan of the Dwellers Below, but also
that guy.
we're going to be talking about Grand Alliance armies. But I don't know if we'll be getting Sam Morgan, Smorgan, Smorgacon, or 30 Smorgan, so I can't wait for that. It's going to be really good. John, how are you?
Yes.
How? Good morning, Chris Palumbo from New York. How are you doing at the minute? Like, how's things?
It's a bit of a weird time.
So it's just
I work in
go on, yeah.
retail, so it's a bit bonkers.
Can you let people know what you did? What do you do for work, and how's that affected it?
So I run a toy shop.
Yep.
So the traditional kind of family-friendly toys, and then obviously the Warhammer stuff as well. So it's kind of been a bit weird because you're getting parents coming in absolutely desperate. And what on earth are we going to do with these things that we've created for however long? How are we going to keep them busy? So it's just having to give these people some guidance and help, and it's really tough.
Is that
There's only so many colouring books they can buy, and how many board games and puzzles. It's just like, oh god, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's really intense, I guess, for the people with kids.
It's just being as helpful as I can, which is what I can do, really.
Lol, what's Rob building? Skinks. Rob's building skinks. What about it?
Such a try hard.
I already have skinks, actually.
Oh, of course.
I already have 80 skinks built, but maybe that's not enough. Well, that's back from the Warhammer Fantasy Battle days when that was not in any way a large number. Like squads of 30 or 40 were just what you had.
It was just a blob, right? It was just essentially a pie plate square that you just moved, right?
Yeah, that was like... And it was really frustrating in Warhammer Fantasy Battle days because you would paint it and they would be worthless. Sometimes you'd be painting 3 units of 40 dudes in a block just to be your core and you weren't even bothered about them. Like, it was the other bits that were important, right? But I digress, and that's not important. So, working in a toy shop, has business slowly waned over the...
It was really quiet beforehand, and ironically, in the last week, it's gone absolutely mad with parents panic buying stuff. But just not like them buying every single thing. It's just buying stuff to keep the kids busy, which has been quite challenging.
I can imagine that's quite challenging, like, in these times. But I was also thinking today... as I had my breakfast and I fired up Netflix to watch a bit of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I was like, where would we have been but a year ago had we not had Netflix? Tom? John?
I'd be pulling out my DVD collection and going, "Oh, look, I'm going to watch this one again."
Again and again.
Brilliant.
Yeah. To Timber in the chat says, one thing I find really interesting, how are Games Workshop going to do big balance meta changes? Are they even necessary? Will there be no tournament or local data? Well, we talked about that yesterday a bit on the show. Well, we've talked about that every day, really, and how the effect on the gaming. But I'll talk to John talk to John a bit, and then we'll move on to some of those subjects again.
Yeah.
I'm aware that people, hey the Dreadwoods, I'm aware that some people are watching this every day. Well, I'm hoping, but you don't have to. You don't have to. It's just meant for a bit of entertainment every day to keep your juices flowing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and motivated. Okay, I'm building skinks, so you should be. I want to know what you guys are building. John, have you done any hobby at the minute?
This week, I finished off, ironically, the last bits of my Dark Angels army that I was taking to an event this weekend on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously now that's not happening because it's what happens. But I've been converting a shield captain for my Custodes, where he's essentially to look as much like a Dark Angel kind of friend as possible. So I've added in some bits and pieces to the conversion to kind of make it look sort of themed, which has been quite fun.
Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions about that in a second.
Yeah,
I just want to say thanks, Banana Timmy, for subscribing. Woohoo! El Capitan WS10. I'm just going to call you Trog from now on. Trog says building and painting final 6 Fell Waters. The final 6. How many were before the final 6 is the true question. 18 before the final 6. John Scrivens. Oh, there you go. You put a picture in the chat of what you've been painting.
There you go.
Nice.
So gave him the halberd of Caliban and gave him a hooded helmet, and I thought that'll be enough of a tie. So I'm trying to be narrative with my conversions now.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. That seems fine. Yeah. The Templar says, what chaos bits do you add to a shield captain?
He's very clever, isn't he?
Yeah. This is
Never heard that one before.
The insult that Dark Angels players are obviously chaos players because Dark Angels themselves are chaos. If you're not aware of that gag. Trug says he's going to end up on 12 Fell Waters and 15 Rock Guts. That's an incredibly impressive army. And Hook and Pin says, I started my Daughters of Cain army. Perfect time to paint 90 Witch Elves. Currently have Mini Marathi conversion done. Hag Queen and the Slaughter Queen. Good job. Well, you can put them in the chat here if you join Discord. Where you can see some of the pictures. Speaking of Netflix, Pete Pratt, one of my fave dudes in the world. Speaking of Netflix streaming, Rob, are you a bit of a sci-fi connoisseur? Is the series Andromeda worth watching? I am a... It's really weird to see the word connoisseur and the name Andromeda in the same sentence.
Yeah, that's not one I would encourage people to watch. I feel it's aged badly.
Coops 45. Well, I'd like everyone to know that I've watched 4 seasons of it, the first 4 seasons, and I absolutely regret all of it. But I would never go. I would not go back on it. In it, like it's not worth watching.
I'd watch Farscape instead.
Yes, if you've not seen that. I mean, number 1 obviously is Battlestar. Then it gets a little bit tough for me, but Farscape is way up there, and I still think holds up, right?
I think it does because it's got puppets rather than it being really old CGI.
And it's really, I think, because it's got the puppets, it's really cool. It's one of it's easily up there. One of my favorite sci-fis. It's just so good, and it got better and better. And if you guys haven't seen it, I'll give you the pitch.
I've just been sent a picture of a little girl colouring in a dreadnought. That's amazing.
Oh my god! Yes, I can't wait to see all these. They're going to be so cool. Please just tweet these out all the time, and like.
I'm going to. That's why I said to people, that's all I wanted out of it was to see the cool pictures because I thought that'll lift everyone's spirits, right?
Yes, so much.
So cute.
And to be honest, they're probably going to be better at colouring in than you. So. Never mind. The Templar says, I'm at the weird point in my life where I'm running out of stuff to paint. I'm losing control of my life. Well, I'd get some soon before you aren't able. Coops, thanks for subscribing. El Capitan says, then I'm going to be moving on to the Mounted Bone Splitters army. Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. What's nice about Destruction, if you're a Destruction player generally, John, is there's so much stuff. Oh, there's a Marathi in the chat. That's great. Well done, Hook and Pin. Good job. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Snake Marathi she's done. Yeah, the little Snake Marathi. It's really cool.
Yeah. Is she doing all snakes? Nice. Big fan. What was I going to say? Good thing about destruction is you can just keep painting up elements of destruction, and while they can't necessarily go in each other's allegiances, they feel like a cohesive kind of like warband / narrative.
They wouldn't look out of place together.
No, never do.
Right?
Never do.
No.
Same with death. I've got a cool conversion for Croak where I think I'm going to get 4 Morghasts stuck around him, and then with their halberds, with their halberds holding his palanquin up. I thought about
that's quite cool. Yeah, I really want to see some people do some different Croak conversions because the Finecast model's cool, but I feel like there's more that could be done.
Oh yes, there's a guy called Hugh who I'm hoping to interview about his Seraphon sometime soon. I need to get back to him, and I'm hoping to interview Trog next week. That could be my week almost sorted already, but I'm going to try and. But yeah, you can do some great conversions of the Seraphon, I think. Okay, what were we talking about? Helgi hails from Iceland. And then Zeminis, I want to build some Warhammer with my 4-year-old daughter, but don't know what kit will be easy enough. Okay, Rob, what kits are easy for you to build? Probably the same level of hobby-mindedness.
I would say just some of the easy-to-build stuff is a good starter.
I'm not going to lie, you had me in the beginning. What kits are easy enough for you to build? Wow, I built almost every... John's been to my studio. John will tell you I've built almost every kit, actually.
Just not the roof kit.
Not the roof kit, no. I wouldn't build spirit hosts. I'd avoid
God.
that. I'd avoid that. Any of the older kits, like these skinks are pretty easy because they're just 2-part. Look, it's body, and then you just stick arms on, and they've just got really obvious contact points. So probably skinks are an incredibly good suggestion. That's why I'm building them.
Push fit stuff. So even like the new Slaves to Darkness Dark Collecting box, that's quite simple kits.
Oh yeah. Are they? I haven't built them.
And the Vanguard Space Marines and the Chaos Space Marine Dark Collecting, they're all from the Shadow Spear box. They're all kind of 3-4 pieces each with pins, so they're quite straightforward.
Oh, nice. Okay, all right, thank you. One of my favourite people
my job.
one of my favourite people in the world right now, Mr. Aceface, is in the chat. I'd love to know how he's doing.
The world famous Tau player.
Is he world famous Tau player now? What?
He won an event last weekend. What? Him and Darren suddenly magically had Tau armies.
What happened to the Tyranids?
God knows.
And the Thousand Suns? Oh, that's so... I'm going to find out from him. I'm going to drop a message, see if he wants to come on the show. That'd be fun. I have an Ogre army to paint as well as a Metal Stegodon to build. They are so heavy, says Chris Palumbo on YouTube. I just don't understand anyone that could build the metal stuff anymore. It's just outrageous, right? New kits tend to have too many spikes for little fingers. Yeah, I'd go for skinks. Seem not too spiky. Oh, they've got the spears, though. They're a little bit sharp.
Some of the new ghosts are really easy to build, but they are spiky as well. So maybe the Stormcast stuff, ironically. I know that they're not too exciting, but they are just big, chunky,
how dare you? Like, at least 8 to 30 people like the Stormcast range, and they...
Sorry, Randy.
Again, if you've just joined us, the pictures you can see on the screen, John's made available for you to download and paint for your kids. So John's going to put the link in the chat one more time. And if you do a picture, as you can see here, this is Hooker Pin's beautiful paintings. There's a picture in the chat of someone already done a little painting of it, which is just the cutest. Okay, where were we, John? We were talking about
destruction being easy to pair up, and
we were saying that.
Something before that, wasn't it?
Farscape.
I've lost track.
The best Andromeda.
Yeah,
it was from
sci-fi.
Pete. I would not watch Andromeda. Not if you've got some spare time. Altered Carbon's incredible. Have you watched season 2 of Altered Carbon, John?
I haven't watched season 1. I started watching the first episode at about 11 o'clock at night and went, no, I can't watch this now.
Oh, Diadrin, thank you so much for donating.
I was too tired.
1,550 bits to the show. I hope everyone gets well. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Also, what's Diadrin's favourite sci-fi show? That's my question. Aceface, I took Nids for the whole of last year. Need a little break. Took Tower for one spin and won the GT Tower easy mode.
Well, if Darren can get second place, they're definitely easy. If he's doing second place with Tower as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, I actually think Ace is a pretty decent gamer, so I'm just going to say that. But
that's what I'm saying about Darren, not Ace.
Oh, someone's who's More Crusher. This is Cesnor's More Crusher. Before I even scroll up, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. He's doing like a lava theme More Crusher. It's in the chat.
Oh, Sean.
Sean, yeah, and it's just wicked. Look at it. If you guys can see it there in the chat, it's just the best. So good. In fact, actually, is there a way for me to? No, there isn't. I'll set one up so I can make it so Discord's bigger and we're all smaller in the future. I'll set that up after the show. That'd be cool. But yeah, that looks amazing, man. Like really good. Really looking to see. What are you planning to do with the metal? That's really good. Ace's Thousand Suns are one of my favorite 40k armies that I've ever seen as well. Like speaking of armies that look really great. But I think this will look great eventually. The lava themes. Do you do the? I'm going to ask him in the chat. Did you do the lava and then the black over the top, or the black and then paint in the lava? I'm surely it's got to be the black over the top, right? That's easier. Yes. Let's. Okay. Hayley Bromley, how you doing, John? Well, how do you think? That was a question directed at you, as you're the other person in the room. Use your words, mate.
Literally. Which one? Which question? Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
What's
It's
the
already
question?
he answered me in the chat. It's red, then black over. Okay, so that
Yeah.
seems to be easier. That's good.
If you're painting something, the thing that's going to be on the furthest on the outside of the model should be the one you do last, in my opinion, because it's easier to get to, right? If you have to do cracks, you do that kind of first. If you're going to do lots of it,
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
that'd be my logic anyway.
That's true.
But
Pete is saying, I've seen all of Altered Carbon and watched Battlestar Galactica again recently. Might need to start Babylon 5 from the start again. I mean, obviously.
Babylon
Obviously,
5.
we live for the one, we die for the one. I don't ever need to. Yeah. I'm true nerd. I'm like,
Are you a ranger, Rob? Is that what you are? You a ranger?
Do you know Marcus? So the ranger is Marcus. Yeah. I follow the actor who played Marcus on both Facebook and Instagram. He's not a particularly thrilling human being, but I still follow him because I'm just like, forever. Yeah, that's in my heart forever. Long. Has anyone ever seen? There's a show. It's on. Maybe it's on HBO called. Oh God! It's not a spoiler. In the first few minutes, an eighth of the planet disappears or something. Like they just vanish. It's called the. It's really good, and it's also got the lady from Lord of the Rings in. What the fuck is her name? The elf princess. That's her name. That one.
Oh, Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler's in it. Yeah, and she's like a weird person in a cult. But whatever that show's called, because I binge watched it. So you know when you binge watch something and you don't remember what the fuck the show's called like the day after. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm on this, Rob. This has got me curious. I'm looking it up.
It's so good. Like it's super weird. It's not the 100. It's effectively what happens is this is the premise, and this has got nothing to do.
The leftovers.
Yes. Is it? Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah, 2% of the population disappear.
Yeah, I think so.
Christopher Eccleston's in it as well.
Christopher Eccleston.
Apparently, that's what Wikipedia's telling me.
Really?
Oh, now I really want to watch this.
Well, so what's really, I don't think this is it. I think I've got this.
Sounds really good though.
No, it's not this. That's a different version. That's the same thing. Oh no, it is it. I can't fucking tell. Is Liv Tyler in it? Now I feel embarrassed. And this is terrible TV. I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm going to watch that now. I'm going to find where I can purchase it legally and watch it.
No, it's Leftovers. Where I could do it legally. Well,
I'm a principled artist. I don't like to steal things.
Same subscription service.
It breaks my heart. That's why I'm so broke, because I buy everything.
Well, anyway, The Leftovers is incredible. Really, really good, because it starts out fairly normal, apart from 2% of the Earth's population disappear. And then what I think is really, really good about it is, and I'm sorry this isn't Warhammer, so I'll just quickly say, and then we'll move the fuck on. What I really like about it is, you know, when you see in a film or a TV show or in your personal life, you feel someone experiencing loss because of a death, or just loss because of loss, right? Just loss. and then they can go a bit odd, or they can have a tough time, and you're there for them and you're patient. And you're like, they're having a tough time because of this. This is the same thing, but what happens if an entire planet is going through mourning at the same time? And they're not.
God, that must be
and
quite
they're not
surreal.
really there. They no one has the time to be there for each other. Does that make sense? But at the same time, they're trying. It's super. It's just good. It's just really. Well, I thought it was good anyway. So it's not all the way up there, but it's one of those ones that aren't as well known as maybe like Firefly or something like that. So does that answer that question? Maybe. I haven't seen the 100. I watched a bit of the 100, but it kind of felt like it was trying to be Saturdays. We should call Saturday Show Day, where we just talk about shows.
Maybe.
Let's talk about Warhammer, right? Let's talk about that instead. So, John, your Dark Angels army has been done. Yeah.
Yeah. Got all my dreadnoughts done.
Got all your dreadnoughts done. So what's next on your hobby pile?
For my next part, I'm kind of focusing on two things at the moment. I've got my Gloomspite Git squigs to get painted up, which I'm kind of battling with because I'm painting them yellow, and it's kind of not too exciting for me because it's quite a daunting prospect. And then I've got some Sisters of Battle to paint as well.
Really?
Because I got that lovely limited edition box at Christmas.
But we've all got things we've got to paint. Yeah, which is all the stuff that we have. What is it that's got your hobby juices flowing, which is very different?
Ooh, I played 3 games of Warcry last night.
Did you?
And it got me kind of going, ooh, what can I do for this? And now I've got a little pile of Beasts of Chaos, so I'm debating getting them out.
Wargaming Dad, thanks for subscribing. So what is it about Beasts of Chaos that have got you tickled?
I think it's because back in the day, there was a White Dwarf, Tales of Four Wargamers style thing with Paul Sawyer, the fat bloke, and he did Minotaurs and stuff, and they were in a really different paint scheme, and that's always been there lingering, and I'm just I've always wanted to do them, but I've never got around to it, so it's kind of it's an excuse now, right?
Yeah. Mass pandemic is always a good excuse for anything, I think. Day drinking, existing solely on marzipan, none of that though. We should all wash our hands and stay hydrated. Is what we should do. Hey, Benjamin Sava, I think it's a good excuse. The Beasts of Chaos, John, are, as you know, not a competitive army at the moment. To play with, they're quite challenging. But similarly, I think that they're so good as models and also narratively. I love the idea.
There's a lot to them,
yeah,
right?
And
it's not just here you go, here's the build you take. There's options.
I think that they're a little bit of a disappointing army because the elements that are really unique, like the Dragon Ogres, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoths and stuff like that, are at the worst end of that, competitiveness. But if you want,
they look cool, right?
They look great. I'm not saying they don't, but if you wanted to paint up Bestigors and also Gore or Gore Raiders, and paint them up and have them as generic Chaos bods, especially as Marauders, I think you can do for a twofer. I think it's only Warhammer World that wouldn't let you use Gore as Marauders. Everywhere else in the world, you should just be like, these are my Chaos Marauders, these Gore. So you get that twofer where you're painting up a unit that you could really just use as 2 units, and everyone in the world would be fine with it. It's like Plague Monks. You could comfortably paint up a bunch of Plague Monks and use those as Chaos Marauders. Although they don't have shields, so maybe not, whereas Gore do have shields, so they're better for that, right? Hey, Nikos in the chat. Hi, Rob. Hi, John. Just working on 2 more SAGs.
Shock attack
guns while watching.
Yes, I can't wait to see what he's coming up with for those, actually, because that's quite a conversion kind of juicy target, isn't it?
For 40k? Oh, baby, is it? It is, absolutely.
Just keep sticking stuff together.
So I was about to paint up my burner bombers. Ignore me cutting out skinks. This is just something that I can do while I'm also doing the stream. So my painting requires me to stick my tongue out and concentrate really hard.
I know that. face. Actually, I think I've drawn a picture of you like that.
That's my painting. Hey Korg in the chat, by the way, and Speckles. Can we all just get a big whoop whoop for Speckles in the chat? Because Speckles is obviously works in a hospital, so he's on the front line of dealing with a thing for us all. So massive love for Speckles in the chat, and anyone else who's doing any frontline work today. If you listen to this podcast, I was aware that I was saying, "Oh, we've all got time off." But we haven't. Some of us are working super hard.
People in retail, unless you're in like food, non-food retail, so like even even shops like mine, we're not currently closed. So all these people are having to work really hard. Supermarkets, I feel so bad for. My missus works in a Waitrose near to us, and it is like a war zone. So
I think that's unfair to raw zones, though. I think let's reduce the hyperbole a little bit, but it's very tough and scary, and I hope that
but it's not nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I hope she's okay and everyone else is okay. I just want to throw that in there, and then back on with Warhammer.
Back to it.
Rob, what's the plan with the best out of 3 Hunker in the Bunker live stream against War Boss Prescott? Randomised lists or let patrons build them? The best of 3, me versus Prescott, when we go and do a Hunker in the Bunker tournament. Well, Nathan's a builder and he's currently working, so he might work through the pandemic. But I'll find out whether or not he's got time for the Hunker in the Bunker. And if he does, the Hunker in the Bunker tournament, 2-man tourney, then I'll let you know. And maybe we'll let people write our lists and even pick scenarios. We'll do a whole thing, which would be fun, but it might take a week or 2 to organise. Maybe a week to organise. Who's painting something in the chat? What's this? What is this?
Keith,
what have you painted up there?
There we go.
Oh, nice. Some demon engines. Oh, I actually forgot about those little scorpion fellas.
I love venom crawlers.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
They are really quite nice.
Yeah. I forgot they existed, though, because they didn't see much competitive play, right?
They're not great.
Yeah.
They can be quite fun to play against, though. I played against one on Monday night, the last time I got to play. For God knows how long.
Apparently, Speckle says all the NHS staff are happy everyone is staying indoors because driving to work is a breeze. That's great. I love that. Commute home, 5 minutes. We're just laughing. The Venom Crawler's really nice. I'd like to do a Demon Engines army one day. Sorry, what I was saying was, though, John, I wanted to finish off painting up my Wasbomb Blaster Jets because I have 2 more, and they'd gone in my list previously. Then I got a little bit excited having played a couple of games with my Orc army and wanting to move on. This is 40k. And wanting to move on and take some Mega Knobs. But then I wrote them in the list, put them in Battlescribe, Best App 2020. Decided it was obviously the worst decision ever because they're terrible. I was like, whoever tried to convince me, which was Tom Layton, that these are good, it was wrong. Double wrong. Double wrong. But then I've now seen all the new Orc stratagems, and I've seen the Burner Bomber stratagem. Well, it's not the Burner Bomber stratagem, but the Explode stratagem. Yeah. And I feel like a Burner Bomber is just going straight into my list, right?
Yeah, at least one could be nice. Or what you could do is magnetize it so you can use it as a Dakka jet as well.
So you can do either or?
So if you switch, I think the biggest difference between a Dakka jet and a Burner Bomber is the bombs. So you could just about wrangle it to then make double use out of the kit as well.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm very much looking forward to playing some more 40k with Orcs. And we played one of those WTC missions, and I know maybe you will have heard on Thursday, but they're just so good. Which is, if you don't know what that is, they have if you're an Age of Sigmar guy exclusively, 40k is kind of split into 3 camps. Where you have people who play ITC missions and or tournaments. You have this is competitive, by the way, not anything else. You have just straight up Games Workshop missions, which is mainly played by hobbyists, people at home, and at Warhammer World events. And then you have it split out into ETC or now World Team Championships, so the WTC format, which is very more similar to the main missions for the chapter approved book than it is than ITC is to it. But you have the addition of having the Maelstrom cards, and honestly, I fucking loved the Maelstrom cards, John. It felt like I was playing Age of Sigmar. Just gonna say that. And I know you and me have had some conversations offline before about my feelings, but it felt genuinely good. It felt like a tactical game. Felt like I was playing Warhammer, not I was just destroying my opponent's army.
You weren't just shooting someone off a table.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest problem with 40k as a thing, is that if you don't get to shoot someone first, the game's necessarily over.
Yeah.
As a whole.
I gave the first turn away. Just gave it away. I was just like it's cool. We're in like an advantageous position. I was lucky. I wasn't against like a gunline army. Nikos was playing like just the best fucking coolest chaos army I've ever seen, with like 20 berserkers and a billion marines. I was like, this.
Oh, he's put up a shock attack.
Well,
gun.
hold on. Daedrin first is working on some bases for his Thousand Sons.
Oh yes, Thousand Sons bases.
Oh
cool.
man, look at that. That's.
And Magnus.
Have you seen the,
oh,
have you
that's
seen
a nice
the painting
base.
on his disc of Tzeentch there? They look fantastic. I'm gonna try and make this bigger. Is there a bigger version of this? Hold on, John.
You can hide the sidebar, I think.
No, I'm just trying to make. No. I know what I mean. I've got a larger version, like where there's just me.
Oh, I
Does
get
that
you.
make sense?
Yes. The overlay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me a sec.
Ignore me.
Give me a sec. I'll get you into that scene, and then we can. If you give me, doing this on air is a bit of a taboo, and I'm sorry about that, everyone. But we'll sort it out. What are you?
It's all good. It's what we do.
Huh?
Innovation on the fly.
Is that it, or is it just struggling through?
I'm just trying to be nice,
call it
Rob.
struggling through.
Take the
Yeah, there
compliment,
we go.
Rob.
Hold on, there we go. So now you should be able to hear both of us. Yeah. John, talk.
Hello.
Yeah, perfect. And there we go. Just a
Sweet. Oh,
bigger
my gosh.
version.
Bigger.
Uh,
Nice. That works.
yeah. That looks amazing, right?
Yeah, they're really cool. I like the is it a purple wash over the silver on the discs?
Oh, maybe.
It looks like on at least a couple of them. It's something I've done on a lot of my stuff, and it looks kind of
I like the bit. I
very
like
sort
I
of
like the
ethereal.
basin as well. So I've just now
that's
started
great.
using milliput because I'm into the bulk category of basing. Being someone who's had to rebase 20 fantasy armies, like from squares to rounds,
Yeah.
I just don't give a fuck about. I actually think basing is one of the most important bits. I'd actually argue, John. I don't know what you think.
Yeah.
And Twitch chat, I'd like to hear what you say. I actually think that basing is more important. I reckon it's half the model. I reckon if you've got a beautifully painted model but it's on a shit base, I won't even pay attention.
Yes, it can also be very forgiving if you've got a very tabletop standard figure and your basing's got a little bit of flair to it. So things like some tufts or some stones or something to break up the colour. It makes a world of difference,
Yeah,
right?
loads. Check out Nikos's
Oh,
shock attack
yes.
gun. All right.
Is that a Necron gun on the
It
top?
might be. I like how is it a looter that's been. Has it got a radar dish? This is why
that's
orcs are
great.
such incredible models for 40k. Because
Just do what you want
do
with
what
them.
you want with them. This model's probably like 14 points. So if you're a hobbyist, yeah, you can literally just be like fucking painting forever. Do you know what I mean? Like with an orc army.
I still haven't painted on my orcs because there's so much of
Yeah,
it.
they're just ludicrous. Yeah, man, look at that. It's so rad. I love orcs so fucking much. They're so much better. Yeah, so if you want to go into Discord, backlog for building for me says Reflex T. Big love, Studio Earthwood. Just checking out the chat. Yeah, purple all over the base. I love basing. Basing is massive, says Banana Timmy. Yeah, I think it's really integral. I'd like. Have you ever bought any of those? What are they called? Bases that are pre-manufactured.
The pre-made ones, I haven't. I'm kind of a bit of a snob to those. I just feel like it's a bit cheating. I like the crafting of doing my own base to some extent, but I'm trying to push myself to do more.
Oh, well,
So all my US Space Marines, I've got a bit of cork, at least one skull, and then some tufts and stuff just to break them up a bit.
well, let me tell you a tale of woe in this trying time. I
Oh gosh.
I bought. So I had a Nurgle themed Chaos army for Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and I did 30 Chaos Warriors. They were all Nurgle conversions, knights. I had Gore Beast chariots, but I used Plague Toads instead of Gourd Beasts. And then I bought all of the modular. I bought all of the whatever they're called, the bases where they've it was like a garden theme. So it had like
nice.
trees coming out of it and little mushrooms, and they were beautiful. And it cost me hundreds of pounds. And then I literally sat there painting them like they were models, hundreds of them. Yeah, well, not hundreds, but quite a few, because I had like Chaos Warrior block and Chariot blocks and Demon Princes and stuff on them. And they looked phenomenal, and I was super proud. And they weren't like highlights, like highlighting level, but they were like fully painted out and washed and like picked out a bit of detail and stuff, right? And then I put them all on, and they looked amazing. Then I was slowly going through my Nurgle guys to paint them up, and I was super chuffed. Then the destruction of the old world. And then now I'm just like, I'm just going to fucking Millie put a base. Yeah, I'm just going to fucking spray it and wash it like 3 colours. And I am out. Yeah, because fuck you guys.
Which is fair enough. Because you've done that work. It's hard to justify, especially if you've bought any bases for them.
And they're still there. I've just got like a tray of these like really nice square, like, sometimes I think, oh, maybe I'll Millie put that into like a base or something when I get around to my Nurgle again. But I was just really upset. Tautor1990 in the chat says, today's call is Scrivo. Gosh, the quality of the guests is amazing.
I'm assuming so.
Also, Chris Palumbos agrees that bases are important. Basing is the best. If you guys have got some pictures of basing, want to put it in the chat, I'd love to see. I saw someone do something really good with cat litter the other day. They used cat litter for basing. That was really impressive.
So if you use cat litter combined with different sizes of grit and sand, you can get different textures, so it's not all just one flat kind of thing, which is quite neat.
Yeah, it's got more, like bump to it realistically.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with the words today, John. I'm not gonna lie to you. Day 27.
You have been streaming for like a bajillion days on a trot, right?
No, only 5. Calm down.
That's loads.
I don't
more
think
than other channels do.
Oh, I'm looking forward to Stream Street Day 37 when I'm like deep into it.
People will just be finishing your sentences for you.
I hope the podcasts are okay as well. They're going out as podcasts, but I'm just like a little bit worried they're not. But although today is just us more hanging out, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yesterday was actually informative. I think every day was informative. Tomorrow's will be good with Bud. Like, this isn't that having you on isn't informative, John. That's not what I'm trying to say.
I know what you mean. This was a bit more ad hoc.
Nice. Finish each of the sentences. Let's get married.
That's ridiculous. We talk too much.
I really want to do a Thousand Suns army, but they're too scary to paint because they're so pretty.
Just all that thin gold to put on them just terrifies me.
Nah, they're too nice. Fuck that. I'm an orc painter. Like, look at Nikos's army. I'll be like, that cable's yellow, no question. Yeah, that bit's black. just block colours. That's all I'm gonna do. I really want to do a Mecha Dread, John. I've got one to paint up. But it's pretty scary.
I've painted one.
Have you?
There's so much detail. I painted mine just a very rusty silver colour, so that my theory was, as it succeeded in games, it would get more and more like bits added to it, like trophies.
Gubbins.
It's got nothing extra painted on it. I've used it 3 times. Each time it got shot off before it did anything.
That is one of the problems with 40k, because there are so many amazing models, but like 80% of them are trash. Like
a Kelburster tank. I want to use my big brick.
Hey Napatrine. I know there's so many orc models I want to really use. Like I was talking about Meganobs. I was like, yeah, and killer cans. I'd be super down for those.
I've dug out my killer cans.
Yeah.
They're going to be quite fun, I think. If they've got an invuln save, I'll play them.
All right, fair. Have they got an invuln save?
That's the rule. So if they're in the reveal for the Grot subculture is all Grots get a 6-up invuln, and any Grot vehicle keyword stuff gets reroll 1s. So your mech guns are rerolling 1s, Rob. That's crazy, right?
What?
Yeah. You not see this? This was all announced yesterday.
The mech guns are going to be rerolling 1s.
Yeah. Let me find the article for you.
Fucking destroy the
How
Earth.
did you not know this? How did you not know this?
Well, I have been dealing with some things, so.
This is the most important thing in the world.
Oh you guys who often get to hear me be excited about AOS are getting to hear me be excited about 40k. I fucking
don't like this website anymore.
Which one? The community one.
Yeah,
it's got worse. Like
that one.
Hook and Pin has done my little basis for my hag conversion. I like the little snakes coming out of that hook and pin. That's great. Look at that coming out of a little tuft. That's good. What base did you use? Oh, some skink shields on the base. Nice.
That is nice.
Yeah. Good job. Well done, Hooks. I'm just going to call you Hooks now. That's my thing. So William Holly in the chat over on Facebook. Big love for watching on Facebook. He says, Cold One Rider Army is top tier. Change my mind. It might be competitively. You can stack Cold Ones with loads of attacks, John, and do mortal wounds and +1 save, +2 save even. You can go crazy. Are they top tier though? No one will appreciate playing against them, William Holly. Like, and maybe for someone having heard this, they'll be like, "Wait, ugly models that my opponent will hate."
They're very ugly
that
models
I win with.
I'm in. Like,
I would only use them if I was using the old cold ones that look like raptors, really little skinny guys. You know, the old school. I think they must have been 5th or 6th edition.
yeah,
Those ones, they're the ones I
I
appreciate.
personally would just paint up. I would just give them to your kids to paint as their first models, right? Wow, who's this Maw Crusher? Oh, the Maw Crusher base. Huckabee, you've done a great job with that Maw Crusher, man. That's great.
That is super. I love seeing it when people do that. I've seen a few people do that with the Invicta Warsuit for Space Marines, where they get a guy standing next to it, kind of doing something, and him being kind of obviously the pilot that's kind of stepped out.
Like a diorama.
Yeah, and then it just makes it a little bit different.
Yeah, I like that.
It's exciting.
I like that a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really fun. Yeah, and it looks. I either think if you're going for big models, I think also having some scenery on the base, making them a part of some scenery. Like Speckles is. I always think of Speckles is. Terrorgeist.
Oh, the realm gates.
Yeah, he's got several different realm gates. Well, a realm gate on each base where he's like split the realm gate in half, and the Maw Crusher's like pushing through it, which always looks the best. But yeah, I like that one. I like that the Mega Boss has got off and he's fighting back to back with his Maw Crusher, which is good. Zem Minis, my Trollhag conversion using Glotkin as the base. Fuck you. You know when someone's just too good at stuff?
Oh, I want one.
That's so good.
Oh.
That's so good. Look at that. He's just got the rock from the Cygor. That looks like it's Rotgus's arm. But like, yeah, I suppose you can't have stuck that on, right? Like, I'm just gonna ask him. Have you stuck that on, like, or is that gonna get taken? It's just good. I'm just gonna say that looks good. That's all I've got for you.
That looks like more of a display base for kind of painting competitions and stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, fantastic.
It looks really nice.
Oh, I quit.
Don't worry. The problem is you thought you've ever could aspire to this level. I've just 100% given up on that.
I can.
And
I just have to make more.
I just want to paint cables yellow on orc types of guns and just be like, yes, that's it. That's all I want to do. That's amazing, by the way, Zeminis.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's inspirational. It gets me excited seeing other people's conversions.
Yeah, the same. There's something about conversions, right? Like in the hobby, and I was talking to Owen about this yesterday. Like the plain models are fab. Games Workshop make great models, but there's something about when like people like annotate or change it up in this way. So annotate is definitely the wrong word. I'm gonna go get checked out at the doctors,
Yeah.
but not obviously because I'm not in need of emergency medical care. It's just really, really impressive, and it makes the hobby juice flow, right? I'll show you guys I'm gonna Scrivo, hold the show down while I show everyone my favourite conversion. I'll be back. You keep going.
Yes. Cool. So yeah. So carrying on with the old conversion thing, I've done something similar with a Dark Angel Ravenwing Talon Master. So they're meant to be a chap sat in it's basically a lieutenant sat on a land speeder. I never really kind of thought much of the kind of the land speeder kit because it is a little bit old. So I did something a bit sort of different with mine. I'll see if I can find a picture, which is basically a custodian jet biker as the base. So I'll find the picture of that.
Right, so these are my conversions. So
he's back. There we go.
This is a Luminarch of Heesh, but it's held by a tree man.
Oh, I've seen these. These are glorious.
They're super fun. I'm always happy with these. And then this is no, that's not a Luminarch Heesh, yeah. And then this is a Celestial Hurricanum, but again a tree man. See, I haven't based them because I based them for Age of Sigmar, not even 1.0, the pre-age or 1.0 on just whatever fucking bases they come on. Now they're all on different bases, so that's tough. And then here's another Luminarch, my favorite. This is like pure anime. Look at that. There's another one. Big fan of that. And then this is my Celestant Prime, but he's also a Hurricanum, the Trelestant Prime.
Nice touch.
Yeah, big fan of these bad boys. So yeah, and I have like 12 Dracoths, all ridden by Kurnoth Hunters. But I think now that I don't work at Games Workshop, I probably won't do that. Also, just like you point out, I did that army before I worked at Games Workshop, so. But won't be doing any more conversions on that scale.
That's a lot of kits to smash together, right?
Yeah,
It is, but also like if you could do for twofers, if you can make like an army that's not just one army, but like that is a couple
Yeah,
of
that doubles
units.
up.
Yeah, I think that works really well, personally. Oh, look at this! Cesnor's got an orc. Look at his orc. Have you seen his Maw Crusher?
Oh my
There's a
days.
guy with a guitar. What the fuck is this? There's a guy with a guitar.
Oh, he's got an axe.
And then
I think I saw this going around on
and
Twitter.
then he's on a boombox.
That's amazing. Oh,
That's actually really, really good. I mean, yeah. I'm into that. Heavy metal orc. Yeah. That's obviously ludicrously good. I'm in love with my own model systems. I'm also, if you guys have seen that in the chat, and then Diadrin says, "Here's my Promethean guild conversion for Necromunda."
oh, yes. I love that flamethrower cultist. It's one of my favourite models they've done in the last few years.
I got to see John Blanche the other day, which was quite sweet. I went.
How's he doing?
Well, no, I didn't actually see him. I didn't. No, hold on. I went into Bugman's. This is a couple of weeks ago, and I saw Jez Goodwin, and I know Jez Goodwin enough to say hi to him, and he's always been super lovely to me. So I just went up and said hello, but he was having a drink with John Blanche, so I just said hello to Jez Goodwin, which is always really pleasant to be able to talk to someone of such incredible skill and talent. And then I turned around and I was like, "Hi, John. Huge fan of your work. I know you don't know me, but very nice to meet you." And that was it. And I was just like, "Oh, it's so cool that you can just go to where you are locally and meet these incredible human beings and just say hi, and that's it."
When I was up for Bobo, he wouldn't stop talking at me because I was wearing a King Crimson t-shirt. So
Who? Goodwin?
No, John Blunt.
Oh, really? What's it?
He literally just wouldn't stop chatting. It was the most surreal thing ever. I
What
was
T-shirt
like,
have you got? What T-shirt was it?
it was so King Crimson's Court of the Crimson King's got quite a famous cover,
Right.
and I was wearing a t-shirt with that on, and he literally he wouldn't stop staring. I was like, what's this? And then just started talking to me about prog music, which was surreal. Literally having one of your like heroes of art come up, that just keep talking at you is just like, cool, this is awesome.
Yeah, because predominantly
Never thought
you describe yourself as an artist, right? That's the thing you would like to be most of all.
Yeah, I think because it's a nice broad strokes kind of term for someone.
Yeah, like whereas me,
I'm not a content creator.
Yeah, whereas me, I'd like to be a real boy when I grow up. That's my true aim. A full grown up.
But you're a lost boy.
So someone says Warlord Massacre. The conversion I really want to see is if Nagash mounted on a Gloomtide shipwreck using his staff as a paddle, floating down the river Styx like a gondola. Hold up.
That sounds awesome.
Doesn't that sound awesome? Done. I'm gonna copy and paste that. That's by the way, credit to Warlord Massacre. Surely that's just blown someone's mind. Gloomtide shipwreck, Nagash in it, big stick, just rowing down the river of death. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm into that. Completely. The Bringy Dingy of Doom. That's what it'd be. I'd also like it if someone then did the Laquan the Soul Seeker, the Endless Spell, and then painted up or converted and made a mini Nagash instead of Laquan, who was inside that boat. And then he always put it inside of his army and then just like teleported a unit in the Bringy Dingy. So it's like big Nagash sending little Nagash down the river with a unit in would look just awesome. Studio Ursula in the chat says, my Nagash for Leo is better than that any day now. Wow.
Sure.
That's a big claims from Studio Erstwood.
I'm willing to believe that though, because I've seen some of his paint jobs.
Yes, I'm also willing to believe that as well, so I'm a little bit scared about that. The Nagash Toot Toot boat. Surely someone's going to do that now. That's mind blowing.
Steamboat Willie parody.
Yeah, I'm well into that. Oh wow! Just Nikos has put up a picture of my.
Oh, I'm not saying a word.
So if you guys want to see, this is my Archeon in the chat. There it is. As you can see, I've mounted Archeon on top of a piece of scenery. I have then had him in a diorama battle with a Lord Arcanum. And I also have other Stormcast running up this piece of scenery trying to fight. What's not seen in that picture is I have a Gryph-hound. In the epic battle, I have a Gryph-hound and a Fleshhound having a battle at the bottom of the...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Are they dealing with the salamander aggressors in the background then?
Yeah, you know I'm a lifelong Salamander player, and also you'll see that I from you, Scrivo, actually asked you to send me a head. If you can see just behind the Lord Arcanum, so I've actually green stuffed on. I used a bit of milliput, so don't worry about that. A I didn't want people to see this yet. It's just this is for me winning a golden demon or something, probably because I'm so talented at painting. There you go. There's my Archeon. John, what do you think of it?
I think you could do better, to be honest.
I feel like I could have spent a bit more time. One of the things you might not know is I actually lost the crown for Archeon. So it's not on his helmet, but no one will know, I don't think.
Oh no.
Unless anyone's got a spare crown for Archeon, I would like... if anyone has the Archeon kit and can green stuff press me a little crown for Archeon's crown, like if that makes sense, I would love someone to do that for me. Big shout out, please, to everyone in the world. Yeah, I'm just so good at painting. That's really. You don't like it, John?
No, I think it's overly rendered. I think it's too much detail. You almost have tried too hard.
Wow, that's rude. That's really rude. Everyone always insults my painting, so I thought I'd knock it out of the park. The Merchant Prince, the scenery with the dudes climbing reminds me of some page side art in the old Lost and Damned books, which illustrates the path to glory. Damn it. Yeah.
Basically like Talisman.
Yeah.
It's the end game of Talisman.
Yeah, you've got to get up there. But the Lord Arcanum's got an amazing pose, right? Like you're talking about poses in... Because we've talked about the pose that Abaddon's got, and it's really similar to... what's that guy called?
Gilliman.
Gazgul. Oh, Gilliman, yeah. Gilliman as well.
Well, because they were actually a mirror. That was a design choice that the sculptors made. They wanted them to... You put them together, they basically are two sides of the coin almost.
Okay, all right.
Allegedly.
Well, look at Woodland King. Look at what he's done there. Loving the daily shows, Rob, and my kids will love the colouring sheets I've just downloaded from John. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Again, if you've just joined us, John's got some colouring sheets. He'll put the link in the chat if you guys want to go and do that, which is just great. Loving the shows. Also, just finished this big boat. Man, that boat is so good. So good. Look at it.
Oh, that looks great. I love the green glow to the windows.
They just tell a story, don't they? The ironclads. They seem and feel real. Like,
I want to like them as a faction to play, but I love the models. But there's something about them that means I don't get the next step to buy them, to sort of build them. I don't know why.
I guess they're quite intimidating as well. Like, that's a lot of painting.
I did make an orc, chin orc out of an ironclad. That was good fun.
Yes, I saw that. That was really cool, actually.
Yeah, It was my favourite model to put on the table, sits there for a turn, and then gets removed. Best tactic possible.
Yeah, that's why I just paint as many units as I can for 40k, and then just hope that you can't kill them all in one go. That's my main plan. Oh, wait, you sent me a link. Oh no, I can't look at it yet. Anyway, all right. Well, John, we got. We're wrapping it up now. So, like, what hobby plans have you got? We didn't answer the question. What if you could do anything right now? Any hobby? What would it be?
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be finally getting. Oh, just need a table. That's great. It would be to actually finally paint these.
What the fuck is that?
This is an artifact from a gone time.
What do they say? The Praetorian
The
Imperial
Praetorian Guard.
Praetorian. Wait, are they English linesmen?
Yes.
In the 40k
Imagine Mordian Iron
universe?
Guards, and they changed the heads for Games Day, and then they sold a limited edition box. I have one of the boxes.
Wow. Wait, they remade them?
No, this is from 1997. This is a relic.
The Praetorian Guard. Holy
yes.
Yeah, like, what the?
This was a White Dwarf article that I read where they did basically, I think it was Rourke's Drift.
Are they event exclusive?
It was, they released it for a limited time. So it was kind of in open release, but they now go for like 300 quid on eBay for the box.
Really?
Ridiculous. It's not even a full battalion either.
John has found an old STC.
Exactly.
Are they metal?
That's what I'm going to be
Are they
doing.
metal?
They are They are old white metal because they're not lead, but they are white metal.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
This is the worst
I
bit.
like how
'cause
you left like the big baller moment for the end of the show. You're like, yeah, check this out.
I didn't want to open the box for forever because look, this is how they came inside the box.
Oh, in little sprues.
In the little blister packs.
Oh, wow.
It's the old logo and everything. It's terrifying, man.
That's crazy.
But there you go.
Ty Winning, thanks for subscribing, by the way. Apparently they're worth loads of money. Are you sure you want them? Because you might be able to sit pretty in your hobby studio for years on that. But do they mean too much to you?
I think so.
That's how I feel, man. I
didn't really have a choice when I saw them and they were available for me to trade. I was like, right, that's mine now.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things for me that, during your trying times, you think you want to sell your Warhammer maybe, but your Warhammer can mean so much to you. It's like an art piece of art that you've drawn or done.
Yeah.
Like you've invested a lot, right, emotionally. So. Yeah,
I'd say so.
I can completely understand that. Also, Virulent in the chat, just putting a fantastic rider on the base. Look at that Slaughter Priest Ghoul King conversion.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really nice. Really nice.
Because that's often my challenge with a lot of these kits. They've got really cool sculpts, but it's one pose. So everyone's got the same looking guy to go with the same thing.
I don't think that,
so that's nice.
That doesn't. Yeah. I mean, making a little change is always nice, whatever it can be.
Yeah.
And just doing the basing different is a big one for everyone. But he's
got
got
there's a zombie coming out the ground.
He's also got a corpse cart on the back of it. It looks amazing. Look at that. And it's like really like blunt Shih Tzu sort of like like Studio Westwood style painting. Like I don't really get how you paint like that. Like I just know that you have them.
Oh,
what's this?
It's tasty.
Ty Winning has put some Tau in there. There we go. Look at that. Look at some nice OSL. Oh, lovely.
Oh,
nice.
And a little Shadow Sun as well.
That looks really nice. I'd put something on the bases. But maybe having plain bases really pushes out the rest of the aesthetic, right, for Tau.
I don't know. It's a challenge, isn't it? Sometimes you can overdo it because you often see people where they've got so much cork on a base that it's essentially the size of the figure in just cork.
Yeah. Right, okay, well, so we know John is painting up some Praetorians.
Yes.
I'm off to learn how to use something called Tabletop Simulator, and then I'll be back tomorrow. So please do join us. Please do join us again tomorrow when I'll be talking to Mr. Budtastic. Or Monday. No, not all Monday. And Tuesday and Wednesday, every day midday, where we're going to do a hangout. Join our Discord. I'll include the link in the show notes. Join the hobby chat. When we have the hobby chat, or just join the community. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you to everyone for joining us live. John, thanks so much for being on the show.
My pleasure, man. Anytime.
And thank you to everyone who's been listening to the podcasts or supporting us on Patreon or subscribing. You guys are the best. You've got some real big dick energy in these trying times. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay safe. Wherever you are, and look after yourselves. We'll see you all soon. John, any final thoughts?
Orcs are the best.
Orcs are the best. That's correct.
There we go.
Orcs are the best. See you guys soon, and goodbye.